Attention, please. Important part. The recording needs to start. It is time to begin. Guests and members, join in. To all of you who joined the meeting, we extend our warmest greeting. Every month, we meet on Fridays, just the first and the third. We prepare inspired speeches and enjoy the spoken word. After every presentation, we provide evaluation with the best intent, just to help our members grow. Dear guests, please be prepared. You may also be called on. Everybody should contribute to Table Topics Marathon. Whether you're a guest or member, we will ask you to remember your cell phones should be muted and the ether not polluted with the sounds of fancy pets. And there is one more request. Your unnecessary actions can be looked at as distractions. Let them stay behind the scene. For a while, turn off the screen. But as soon as you are done, turn the camera back on. We would like to see your faces. Has everybody taken places? Our president, Sandra, said.
Tamara, you put such a smile on my face every time with your very poetic opening as Sergeant of, and it's so much fun. It makes it so much more interesting. Mm-hmm. We are not a normal club at all. We are masters of evaluation. We have a great meeting today, but before we start, I want to thank all of you for renewing your dues. That is fabulous. We've got 20 renewed members, and we're carrying on. We're getting in a lot of our level completions to Judith to approve. So we are moving forward, and we have a great year ahead of us. So today, I'm going to turn the meeting over to our Toastmaster of the day, who's going to take over everything for us, and that is Jon White. Thank you, Jon.
Thank you very much. Greetings, everyone. MOEers, guests, dignitaries, district directors, everyone, whoever was here. The theme of our meeting today is the grass is green where you water it. The grass is green where you water it. I repeat that because when I heard the first couple of words, I immediately went to the grass is greener on the other side. Don't we all know that? And we know that meaning of that saying is that we believe that everyone's life is better than ours, that they have it easier, and it's our life that is a struggle. And I think that's a basic human instinct, and it's only been exacerbated by social media, Instagram, with all these posts about all the highlights of everyone's life, never the struggle. But the theme today is that the grass is green where you water it. And I want to tell you the first way we can do that is to stop worrying about your neighbor's grass. Okay, I want to give you license. Don't worry about it. Trust me, it isn't always green. It has weeds. It's got a funky sprinkler system that misses patches. It's just as janky as your lawn. Okay, the problem is get out of your neighbor's yard and worry about your yard. Okay, water it. Literally, maybe in your Southern California you can't. Take care of your synthetic green lawn, or metaphorically, invest and water, nourish, and set an intention that your lawn and your life is green. So that is the theme for today. And with that, I transition. I believe we have an educational moment. Is that correct, Muriel Shabazz? Your timing and teaching?
Yes, I'm doing double duty.
And you are, and just, I mean this in loving guidance, Goddess. Would you like someone to time you? I remember last time educational moment turned into a lecture. Would you like timing assistance?
DTM means don't time me.
No, I must. I'm Toastmaster of the day. It's my lawn.
That's true. I submit.
Lawn.
All right.
What are we allotting for time?
I think it's 4 to 5 minutes. Is that it? Someone do this?
3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3.
Oh, 3. Oh, Jesus. She has cut me down. Okay.
Yeah, well, we don't need the whole essay about this.
Actually, 4. 4 is on the agenda. From
Okay. All
9:05
right.
to 9:09.
Okay. Masters of Evaluation, most welcome guest. Oh boy. Get ready, get ready, get ready, because the outage is coming. The outage is coming October the 9th. Wednesday, October the 9th through Friday, October the 25th. That's approximately 16 days. Toastmaster's website will be unavailable in most regards. So I want to encourage each one of you to get your certificates that you have not printed out for your levels. Get those done. I also want you to know that all of the uncompleted levels that you have not completed by October 9th will not carry over to the new system. So if you have a level that is not completed, complete it. And I want to help you complete it, especially if you're doing electives. Did you know that as a table topics master, as a grammarian, as a general evaluator, you get speech, pathway speech credit? That is called active listening. How about Jon White today? He's Toastmaster. Jon gets credit as managing an online meeting. So, Jon, isn't that great? Did you hear that today? You get credit. All right.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
If someone talks back to me, I'll get it for managing a hostile audience.
Okay. Contest chair, co-chairs, you also get credit as high performance leadership credit. What else do I want to tell you? I want to tell you that if you have an uncompleted level, complete it quickly, because any uncompleted levels will vanish. Kaput. They're gone away by October the 9th. What else do I want to tell you? I want to also tell you about the discontinued levels. I think I mentioned that at our last meeting. That's going to be innovative planning, leadership development, strategic relations, team collaboration, and effective coaching. Those are going away as of October the 9th. However, if you want to buy those paths, you can. But you must do that before October the 9th. The paths that are continuing: presentation mastery, dynamic leadership, engaging humor, motivational strategies, visionary communication, and persuasive influence. I also want you to encourage you to take a screenshot of any work that you're doing that you have uploaded to Basecamp. Why? Because at TI International, they have a tendency to kind of lose stuff. So if you have a screenshot of it, or if you've made a copy of it and there's a question about it, please make sure you're able to validate these actions that you've taken have been taken. What else do I want? Let me see. Where's Judith? Okay. What else do I want to tell you? Oh, if you would like to prepare before, and I'm saying maybe you should check your calendar for October the 8th, because these go into effect October the 9th. If you're working on a project, you may want to download that project, download a PDF, and you can do that and print my project. I talked about your certificates. Remember, electives can be completed. Contest chair, creative, okay. Let me see what else. Oh, I'll put in the chat if you have any other questions. And we have our club quality director here. Club quality director, that's right. Oh, it's red. Shantae Marie Howard, thank you for some of these notes. Yes, indeed. All right, back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you. I will try to get my red background. Sorry for the ramp up. Lack of ramp up, Muriel. I just went straight red. Anyway, I forgot to say hi to the guest. Michael, welcome. What's green in your life?
Wow, sort of the edges of my my undergarments, but that's a personal problem, so I apologize for that. It's an Irish thing. I keep wearing them; they wear out, but they've got shamrocks all over them today. And that's probably the thing that I water the most, regular washing.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining us. You've been here many times before. I remember the last time you evaluated and offered some real detail. I believe it was to Rosie's speech.
Yes.
We want to welcome Ed Stapleton. He's a friend. He's a division director. Ed, what are you watering in your life, sir?
I am watering all the fantastic clubs that we have here in Division C, of which Masters of Evaluation is an inspiration to many other clubs. Even though it's a relatively new club, it is going strong 4 years later now, 3.5 years later now. So inspiration to all the other clubs in the district and in our division, some of which are looking to see what you do and emulating that so that they can replicate your success. So thank you all for being here today, and it is my pleasure, my honor to be standing among you. Back to you, John.
Great, thank you. Thank you. Good to see you. And it reminds me of that saying that Derek Jeter, he's a famous baseball player, and he was always on point, whether it was practice, whatever. And they asked him why. He says, you never know, someone might be watching you. So we're always being watched. We're always being, not in sort of a government conspiratorial way. Harold, stop that. Okay, Shantae Howard is our Zoom master, LD2. What will you be doing? And what have you been watering lately, Shantae, in your life?
Been watering a lot of things in my life, Mr. Toastmaster, especially Toastmasters. I've been watering Toastmasters this week, so that is what I will respond as. And my role as Zoom Master today is I get the plum-pleasing pleasure to monitor the chat, to let folks in and out, to post the agenda, all of those fun things. So I am going to be your voice in the chat today.
Great. Thank you for that. It's my pleasure to introduce our general evaluator, Jesper. Jesper, what are you attending to? What is brown in your life that you're turning into green pastures? Because I know you've been busy outside of MOE, so we'd like an update on your life, please.
What I am watering is learning. I just picked up an audiobook from Les Brown, and it's just really inspiring me. So taking every day to learn something new and pick up some new insights. That's what I'm watering in my life. And as general evaluator for Masters of Evaluation, I am giving an evaluation of Masters. Today's theme, the grass is green where you water it. I will be paying attention to how we're investing in our own growth throughout the meeting. So stay tuned. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Great. Thank you very much for that, Jesper. And Vicky, thank you for that contribution. Are you hungry? From Les Brown. Always listen to Les Brown. He will feed you. The word of the day, the grammarian, the counter. He has a green thumb. Everywhere he goes, things are flourishing. In fact, they call him Farmer John. That's how productive and industrious he is. John, what's green in your life, sir?
Well, sometimes they also call me Little John.
I would never do that.
Especially during Halloween. That's one of my costumes. Let's see. Our word for the day is rubescent. And to use that in a sentence, my face turns rubescent when I'm embarrassed. So that's our word for the day. And I will be looking for various different filler words throughout our meeting. Ahs, ums, ers, you knows, what, right, well, in conclusion, different things like that. And I'll give us a tally at the end that hopefully will have a percentage based on how often people use those filler words during the course of the meeting. And the other thing I'll be doing is looking for interesting phrases and grammar. We don't use many incorrect phrases in this group. We're actually very good with that. But we do use very interesting phrases. And I'll be looking to give us a little summation of that at the end. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much. Let me try this. When I was younger and I drank alcohol, my face turned rubescent. But now I don't have that problem. You know why, Michael? I grew old. All right, we move on to our first speaker. But you know how we do it at MOE? The evaluator introduces the speaker as far as their objectives, and it's my pleasure to introduce PM5 Vicky Trabosh.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster. I am a bit rubescent about this evaluation today because two things. One, I have a cat on my desk who is playing with the papers. New kittens, what are you going to do? And two, Rosie, if you can clarify for me, I understand this is your pathways prepare for an interview, and it says that a member will be asking questions. I'm a little rubescent 3 times so far. Can you clarify for me, Rosie?
Oh, member will ask questions. I'm not sure if I wrote it down.
Okay, good. I will just evaluate your speech. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Great. And I was remiss, and I am rubescent in not having asked our timer for the timing rules. We are 5 to 7 minutes for both speeches. Muriel, how would that look? I'm
Okay. Because of Judith Ferber and my great relationship with her, she taught me how to do timing a little bit different with the cards. So, Rosie, when you see the green flower, that means you have reached 5 minutes. When you see the, let's see, when you see what? When you see the yellow, that means you've reached 6 minutes. And now, Rosie, I know you have a lot to say and a lot to share. However, when 6 minutes comes, I will show you the red flowers. But, Rosie, you will have an additional 30 seconds to wrap up your message. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you. What I got out of that is when you see rubescent red, it's time to run. You're out. It is time for the introduction. Rosie Flaherty is working on presentation mastery at level 3, an elective prepare for an interview. Rosie Flaherty, why should I hire you? Why should I hire you, Rosie Flaherty?
Imagine you are discussing a potential project with a client or sitting in an interview with a prospective employer. The big question is that why should I hire you? There are so many reasons to say yes, but also many excuses to not to. Why should I hire you? Your attitude. Attitude is one of the keys that I should hire you. Your attitude speaks through your body language. It's in how you walk, you sit, and you engage the conversation. For instance, when you meet a client or an interviewer, the moment you walk in the room to present yourself makes an impression. I once interviewed someone for an accounting position. Initially, things went quite well. He shook my hands and sat down. As soon as he did, I felt a lack of respect. This is how he sat. His body language and his posture just show disinterest. I didn't see how serious he was for the interview. That attitude is a deal breaker. Why should I hire you? Because your confidence. Your confidence shows through your eye contact and how you speak. If I look at your eyes and answer your questions confidently, it shows I believe my abilities to get the project or to land the job. For example, if someone talks to you but does everything to avoid the eye contact, he or she can look up down, left, right, everywhere in the room except your eyes. It signals a lack of self-assurance. Or if your voice is too low or hesitate, it shows uncertainty. For example, if I come to you and introduce myself, my name is Rosie. I work on this job for 5 years. You should hire me because I can do this job better than anyone else. Would you trust me that I can get the job done? I bet not. Why should I hire you? Your authenticity. In the age of technologies, clients, employers looking for genuine people. Don't pretend to be someone else. Why? Because if you get the job, you will find it so exhausting to keep up the act. If you are introvert, no need to push yourself to be extrovert. It's okay to be reserved and thoughtful. Authenticity allows you to connect with people, makes jobs enjoyable and sustainable. So, why should I hire you? Attitude, confidence, and authenticity. Remember, you work to live, not live to work. So, always be yourself, confident, authentic, and real. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Rosie. You're hired. Let's take 90 seconds to give feedback. And remember, this is a very important thing, particularly for MOE, given that we're an advanced evaluation club. But the feedback to speakers and to evaluators is golden. That's how we improve.
All right, 90 seconds starts now.
Thank you, Mira. Madam Timer.
That's 90 seconds.
Great. Thank you so much. We are moving on to our second speaker. We had a evaluator fill in, which is Trudy Young. Trudy, did you have a chance to talk to Harold about his objectives? If so, you can share them. If not, we understand given the last minute change. I'm taking that as a no. That's fine, Trudy. You can focus on the speech and your feedback. So I will just cue into the introduction for Mr. Harold G. He's standing up. He's ready. He's camera ready. What a handsome man. He's working the pathways, emotional strategies. Harold G. Plans are necessary for good life. Plans are necessary for a good life. Harold G.
I'm sorry, Mr. Toastman. Is that 5 to 7?
Correct.
Thank you so much.
Let's take it from the top. Harold likes to be introduced properly. 5 to 7. We've seen the timing rules. Harold G. Plans are necessary for a good life. Plans are necessary for a good life. Harold G.
Pardon me, fellow Toastmasters, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guest. For you to have a wonderful or interesting life, it requires planning. Like an architect needs a plan and an engineer needs blueprints to build buildings, you need much more of a plan to have a happy life. That's right, a plan of action. Something that you're passionate about, something you can see clearly in your mind. And once you have that plan, you follow that plan. Now, you may say, why should I have a plan of action? You do not want to float along in life and just depend on how things work out. That's a plan of failure. Your plan is to write down exactly what you want, see it clearly in your mind, what you want to achieve, and go from there. In many ways, in very general, many ways, life is like a staircase. Okay, some people are going upward and some people are going downward. And the people who are going upward typically have a plan of action. And they have a plan they can clearly see in their mind, and they've worked out step by step. Just as a brick building is built brick by brick, just as a painting, something, you go to a museum and see a great painting or a building, it's built or painted stroke by stroke. Your life requires thought, requires what do you want to do? The biggest responsibility of your life is to make something of your life. You're just not insignificant. You have to build something perfect and something important about your life. And that responsibility is fully on you. Mm-hmm. Let me say that again. The big responsibility of your life is to make your life important and to be important in your life. Your life is value, and you add value to it by planning what you want to do. You look at your life again by departments, financial, work, travel. If you want to go on a trip, the first thing you would do is get a map, a travel map. Where are we going to go? How are we going to get there? That's indispensable. That's the first thing you want to do. And what you want to do also in your life, because you're on a highway, oh yes, you're going forward. You want to know where I want to go from 5 years from today. What would I be like? Would I be smarter? What would I be doing? Now, there's one big danger about this. Do not think things are going to remain the same. There are going to be changes. And you're going to have to make many changes in your life and have many different plans of actions. They may be things that happen that you could not foresee, and you may look like you cannot go forward. But you take time, go inward, and think about where I want to do 2 years from today, 3 years from today, 4 years from today. What kind of friends do I want? That requires planning, thinking, and doing. In order to do that, take time to write a few things down. Jot them down. Just sketch it out. What would you want to do? And in order to have these plans, make them clear what you want to do. And note, the ultimate goal of your life is to be of greater value. That's right, greater value. You have more to offer, help other people, and you can help, and you can help yourselves. Now, why do you want to do this? Because your life is already important, and you don't want to be left behind. You want to be a doer. You want to be creative. And you want to be thoughtful. In order to be thoughtful, it does take planning. Yes, you can have a plan to read a certain number of books, read a certain amount of time each day, devote your time to reading and studying, but that takes planning, and you should plan. This, as I mentioned again, an architect requires a plan to build a building. An engineer needs a blueprint to build a building or a structure. You need a plan so much more in this journey of life. And life is always changing, and you have to go along with it. There'll be times when you literally get knocked down. You may have a lot of frustration, but you have to focus the long view. Take the long view and understand I'm going to prevail because I have a plan. And I I agree with that plan. And that plan is you're going to be better, smarter, more intelligent, more giving, and more helpful. To develop this plan, how do you develop that plan of action? Sit down, write what you like, what you want to achieve, and that is your plan. And get started. And get started today and work on it every day. It's in your mind, in your heart. And again, this is not a nebulous plan. This is something dear to you. You have passion about this. You can't wait to get to this plan. Fellow Toastmasters, you're on your way. Mr. Toastmaster.
Mr. Harold G., the grass has never been greener. Let's go with 90 seconds, please, for feedback on areas to improve his lawn, if possible, and things that he did well.
That is 90 seconds, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Madam Timer. I note from your report in the chat that Rosie and Harold qualified. So not only did they provide quality speeches, these speeches would have qualified for a vote of some sort. They met the timing requirements. So it's my pleasure to now transition to the table topics portion of the meeting, and I give you Distinguished Toastmaster Judith Ferber. Judith?
Yeah, thank you. Let me change some things in here. There we are. All right, thank you, everyone. So we are going to let me share the screen. So we will talk about this watering your, let me do, here we go, of the, oops, there we go.
Could I please?
So we'll have these. Hello. So I just like to say that this is 2 minutes, table topics, and then we have a snap evaluation, which is 30 seconds.
Oh, thank you.
So let's see. So here it is. The grass isn't greener on the other side. It's greener where you water it. So let's see. Let's get our district director tell us what he thinks about where is the grass greener and what does this mean to you? Mr. Stapleton.
Thank you, Madam Table Topic Master. To be clear, I am a division director.
Oh, sorry.
And you have 2 district directors right here in your club.
I know. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I know you're a district. Yes. I apologize.
But I want to thank you for the question. That is a wonderful question because my feeling is, and sometimes my face becomes a little rubescent when I hear this from others. But my feeling is that the grass is greener here because there might be more fertilizer, to throw a little humor in. The role that I play for the Division C, I think we have a very green lawn, and it is tempting sometimes to compare our lawn to the lawns of our neighbors, our other divisions in the district. But I have to say that ours is so green that I can not worry about our neighbors' lawns and just jump into the grass and roll around in it and enjoy the lush, cushiony texture of that grass because it is so green. We have a phenomenal amount of involvement and support from our membership. Our club officers are among the best club officers in the district. We achieved 93.5% club officer training, which is quite a bit above the average of 83% training, or 73% training average across the district. And so I feel like we are so blessed to be able to enjoy the green grass that we have right here in our own district. And Masters of Evaluation is absolutely a big part of that, of making that happen. So I'm enjoying the green grass right here. And with that, back to you, Madam Table Topic Master.
Thank you. And we'll ask Tamara to do a 30-second evaluation of Ed's table topic speech.
It was a very interesting comparison of green grass, rich green grass, and field where the Toastmasters grow, and how they ripen, become better, become juicier, become tastier, and really bring you joy. So I was just envying that you got this question and not me, because I would be talking about the tomatoes that are right now green for some reason in our garden. But as they become rubescent, then you already know that it's time to pick them, let them stay in the dark place a while, and then you can really enjoy them. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Thank you. There's nothing wrong with green tomatoes. So let's move on to our second one. So the grass is greener where you water it, so pour into the things you care about and watch them blossom. So Kathy Choice, what do you think about this particular quote?
I truly believe this, that what you put energy into, especially if you put in positiveness, not even sure if that's the correct word, but you all understand what I'm talking about. So if you put in positiveness, positivity into something, of course it's going to grow. Of course it's going to blossom. You have put in this good energy that is supporting growth. But I'm also going to take that and go back a little bit and say, yes, the grass is greener where you water it. And yes, it's greener on the other side. But I think that it's because it's green when you water it. And I hate to go back to what Ed said. Once you put the fertilizer on and you water it, that makes sure or ensures the fact that your grass is going to be green and grow. And I think that may be what happens to the people on the other side. They've put the stuff down, they've watered it, and then it has grown. But we can do the same thing and accomplish and have the same outcomes. Back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much. So let's John Graham do it's actually it's 1 minute, the snap evaluation. So John Graham, you're on.
I'm trying to pay attention to too many words here. So there's one. Catch myself on it. I think you said some nice things, Kathy, but I didn't catch a whole lot. I got the green part. I like the green part on the other side as well as our side. I like the fact that there was a transition there. And you did things, I think, very well in terms of just presenting a synopsis. Like I said, for me, I basically am looking at a spreadsheet with words on it instead of listening to the content of what you're saying. So I don't really have a whole lot else to say. So thank you very much. I appreciate it very much.
Okay, so let's see what comes up next. And let's see if we can do this. Oh, this is a little bit long, but there's nothing wrong with seeking new pastures and bigger, better opportunities. The mistake is not recognizing that the greatest opportunities are often right under our feet. So let's see. Shante, what do you think about this? This thought.
Absolutely. I think, thank you, Madam Table Topics Master. I think that sometimes we as humans think that, to your earlier question, the grass is greener on the other side. So we tend to go outside of our homes, outside of our cities, outside of our countries to seek something bigger, something greater. But oftentimes there are so many amazing gems right under your feet, right in your hometown, right in your neighborhood. There are so many great things in Los Angeles that I love to explore on a daily basis, like the Rose Garden by USC. A lot of people don't even know that that Rose Garden exists, that it's free for everybody to just go and partake and walk through and take in the beauty of all of the great flowers and roses and the amazing gardens, like all of the great restaurants in our neighborhoods that we can eat and learn and really explore different cultures just in our own backyard. So sometimes we don't need to travel and get on a plane and go to other countries, although that's great and amazing. And I love to travel, and whoever wants to pay for a flight for me to Aruba, I'm here for it. But sometimes we just can sit in our own backyard and really just explore what's here. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, the Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much. So let's see what Sheila Chance has something to say for the next 1 minute, please. Next 4 minutes. 1 minute, yes.
4 or 1?
401.
Shante had wonderful energy and screen presence, as usual, does not surprise me. She went to opposites. She went to outside to basically inside, outside, and then right under your feet. I love the opposites. And then she did something that's really paramount and very important, and she gave examples. For example, there's rose gardens here, cultures, exploration. And then she flipped back to her beginning by saying, yes, we could explore and go flight, but the best thing is to look right under our feet. What you could have added there and just made it even better is to say, remember the present moment, be in the moment. What's around you right now? Just kind of explore and make that larger, because you were there. You could make a speech out of this easily with your talents. You were there, but you didn't have the time to explore it even bigger. You did do the examples, which is great, and you added humor. I suggest you could even throw in the word of the day somewhere, because you're that creative to do that. I don't know how you could say you could explore the, let's see, the, what is that word again?
Rubescent.
Rubescent colors of the rainbow on the sunset, or the rainbow or the sunset as you explore. I know you could have fit that in, so I implore you to keep speaking and make your ideas larger. You come up with things on the spot, and I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Happiness and fulfillment are not found constantly looking for better option elsewhere. So John Graham, this is your thought for the day.
Okay, I'm very rubescent at this point in my life. Being green is not where I am, I guess, right now. I'm thinking about all the different ways that I can express myself and how many ahs and ums I can create. I'll have to show you all at the end. I have a spreadsheet going, and it takes a lot to keep it maintained. So, but happiness and fulfillment are not found by constantly looking for better options elsewhere. I think that our lives are best driven internally, not externally. When you look outside for better options, you are by default creating less success within yourself. So when you water your grass, what you're doing is taking the things that you enjoy, that you cherish in life, and finding ways to make them grow. And the way you do that is different with each one of us. as are the things that make us grow. I mean, we all have different talents, different ideas, different responsibilities, things that make us feel good, things that we want to do better. And if we're looking constantly internally for those things, we're going on a process of kind of ongoing enhancement. We're watering internally all the time. Thank you, Madam Table Toastmaster.
Okay, so let's ask Sandra for a quick evaluation.
What I enjoyed the most was his statement that we're all different, and that's important to recognize. We shouldn't be looking at each other for what we should be. We should be allowed to be different, to express our individual interests, and I like that he brought that up right away. And I liked the watering internally as just a visual that if we were to picture goodness going in and we're feeding our bodies with happiness and fulfillment, other than junk from outside sources. Don't let the mirror or don't let the window define you. Let your own mirror define you, is what I interpreted from what Jon said. We are different. We can recognize and appreciate that in others. And very thought-provoking. Thank you, Jon.
Thank you. So embracing your unique path. Each of us in a unique journey with our own challenges. As you nurture your inner world and embrace your unique path, you'll discover that the grass is greener where you water it. So Marjorie, this is your thought.
I am rubescent at this time. You got me with the longest of the phrases, but yes,
you can
it's
just
true.
use the first one sentence.
Okay, embracing your unique path. Of course, that's what we need to do as human beings. When we should always be looking forward to do things that make us feel better. And watering our own grass is one way. Today, I'm here in front of you on this screen, and I'm struggling to speak because I am sick with COVID. But I want to do this. I wanted to be here today. And I'm making my best effort to speak. You have to do, or I have to do, whatever I want to make myself feel better. And this is, as someone said, I think it was Shante, is in your own backyard. Do it. Try to do the things that make you feel better. Back to you.
Well, thank you so much. And I hope you feel better soon. Jasper, would you please do a 1 minute snap evaluation?
Marjorie, I like the advice you shared at the beginning. We should always look forward to the things that make us feel better. And a very direct example, you're under the weather today, and you're still here. It really showed us that in your own uniqueness, you're still watering the grass to make it greener. And by being here, you're showing that you're still focused on the positive. Even if you're not feeling well, you want to show everyone that you can still keep your head up. So great work in sharing yourself an example. So Marjorie, feel better soon.
Thank you, Jasper. So Michael, the grass is greener where you water it. What does this saying mean to you? How can you apply it into your own life?
I've been champing at the bit, Judith, and I appreciate that question. I really do. And thinking about going somewhere else to find the plot to water goes all the way back to my childhood when I read Kim by Rudyard Kipling, and there was this chapter in it, and I know it was a book written by an old white man, an imperialist British man, but there was this idea that took hold in me, which was to go on this pilgrimage, a spiritual pilgrimage. The Hindus say there's thirds to your life. The first is becoming a person. The second is making your way in the world as that person. And the third is a spiritual walkabout, in other words. And I've only recently realized that it's not necessarily physical change. And so I am really focusing on landing in the garden that I call compassion lately. I am stubborn, I am opinionated, and there's always more room for me to find bigger slices of compassion in my heart. And I can do that right here, right now. And it's so interesting how being able to say I'm sorry more than I ever have, and being able to listen better than I ever have, I hope, has made the grass right under my feet a little greener. Thank you for the question.
Thank you. Jon White, would you do a 1 minute little evaluation?
Happy to do it. First of all, there's a argument as to whether it's champing or chomping. Most people say chomping, so I love that he said champing. Immediately I knew he was a man of letters, an distinguished man. I love this, that he's been waiting for this rather than trying to avoid it, and he evoked his childhood in this book that he read. And I'm kind of where you are as far as being difficult on yourself. So this notion of compassion towards others, and that these things that you give to the world, that you might give it to yourself. That was a powerful lesson, and also about listening better. My next comment, maybe it's not necessary, but I say this as a man who's been mistaken for one. The history lesson about a British imperialist man, I thought it was apologetic, and because I've mistaken for one, it triggered me. I don't know that we needed that, Michael. I know that you wanted to somehow broaden it for us to look beyond the history, and that took me down a path and things that I've heard more than I would like to in this current era of our history. That was it. Thank you. Beautiful comment.
Thank you. Okay, we have a little more few minutes here. So here we are. The grass, it isn't about what you see, but what you do that makes your grass green. Changing addresses won't change behavior. So let's see who I should ask this question. I will ask Sandra.
I was going to say, Vicky, this is a good
No, I said Sandra.
Yes. It isn't about what you see, but what you do. That's being passive about your own life is a mistake you'll recognize later that you can't go back and change. Doing something is the only way anything is going to be different in your life, whether it's your attitude, your physicality by exercising and diet, by how much you contribute to the world. And I think that right now I'm in the do phase of life where I want to help people. And that's why I joined a Rotary Club, because I like the idea of working with people to solve a problem. I'm a problem solver. I do things that I set aside at the beginning of the day to write down and say, this is my goal for today. I'm going to do this. Because I do see a better future coming soon, I hope. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see. We're going to, let's see. Okay, Vicky. Do a 1 minute of evaluation since
Now, how did I know that was going to happen?
I know.
Sandra, wonderful job. You really used the word do a lot, which kept anchoring your ideas. And I just very quickly, don't try to give it to somebody else. And Judith, good job on you saying not Vicky. When we're distracted by and I know all you did was make your inside thoughts outside. It's I hope she calls on Vicky. Well, you used your outside voice for that. In the future, don't say what you're thinking. Take it in. Like I said, I knew Judith was going to call on me, and certainly she did. I voiced that just to be funny. But I really thought, Judith, you did a good job of controlling this table topic as well. Back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Okay, we have a little more time here, so let's see what else we have here. And there it is. Whatever phase your grass is currently facing, it can become green again. It may take some replanting on your part or merely some watering, but it can be done. So let's see who we do. Oh, Tamara.
Oh.
Tell us about your grass and what is it facing?
I like to replant my flowers together with the grass around them. It looks like something new, and without traveling anywhere, I can enjoy new landscapes, new surroundings. And I have noticed that whenever I use some action, some positive energy, as was already mentioned today, I can see the result. When I'm planting, when I'm investing, I see the harvest. And I enjoy doing both, sowing, planting, watering, and harvesting. Every action brings a lot of joy. And besides, since our topic is about colors, changing colors, I like to collect different colors of vegetables which grow in our garden and transfer them into salads. And the salads become the color of a rainbow. They have all colors there except blue. And it's very joyful, bright, and makes not only me happy, but everybody who I invite to share these harvested things with me. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, and let's call on Shante for a 1 minute.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tamara, I always love hearing your responses. I think that you had great vocal variety, and I really enjoyed everything that you said. And I'm just excited to hear more from you, and I'm looking forward to hearing that in a speech. Back to you, Madam Tabletop.
Thank you. I think we're almost, I have one more question. We have what, 1 or 2? I think we have just exactly 2 more minutes here. This is my last question. I know this is a little bit long, but let's see. Well, we can make this shorter. Okay, well, this is a whole story here. As my grass gets greener, the appeal of the other side fades. After all, the most fulfilling side is of a lawn. I've tendered and nurtured myself, a testament of my effort and dedication. So let's see who can actually talk about this. Okay, Sheila Chance, this is your little quote here.
Thank you. I like this. As my grass gets greener, the appeal of the other side fades. After all, the most fulfilling sight is of a lawn I've tendered and nurtured myself, a testament to my effort and dedication. Right away came a biblical verse to me, and that is, do not covet thy neighbor. That to me is just something that we do oftentimes. Society teaches us that, you know, that you'll do this and you'll be more like them and you'll be better because that's the way to go, and they manipulate and tell you what to do. This basically goes back to the present tense that I mentioned with Shante. What you've got around you, under your feet, grows the best, and it's a testament to your own self-confidence, self-esteem, and self-worth. Back to you.
Thank you. Okay, Muriel, this is our just about the end of our session. So Muriel, give it 1 minute. snap evaluation of this.
That was Sheila.
Yes.
You are absolutely beautiful. I love your background, and I'm so happy to be here. It's a wonderful day. I want to say happy Friday to each and every one of you. I hope that each one of you will have a fabulous weekend. I have no idea what she said because I'm in the process of putting the timings in the chat.
All right, we got this, and thank you so much in any case. All right, thank you, everyone, and this ends our table topic session. So it's back to our Toastmaster, Jon.
Great. Thank you very much. If you could stop sharing, that was an epic table topic. We always have a great session, but Judith, you are particularly adroit at this with the background and the questions. It's just really, really wonderful. Never stumping, always something that people can succeed in, but still asking us to go deep. So I really enjoyed that. At this point of the meeting, it's my pleasure to turn it over to our general evaluator, Jesper. Jesper?
The grass is greener where you water it. And in our next portion, we'll hear from our evaluator sharing ways to invest in the growth of our speaker. And I will turn it over to our first evaluator, Vicky.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. If anyone remembers Irma Bombeck, she said, and it was a best-selling book, the grass is always greener on the other side of the septic tank. I had to get that out. Okie dokie. Now let me talk about Rosie's speech today. I am not rubescent in my comments. I am so proud of your growth, Rosie. I loved your great opening questions and your great repeat of your title. You kept anchoring us with that, why should I hire you? I really liked the way you used your physicality. You stood up, background's blank, and then when you sat down and sat back and got really comfortable, that was super effective. We felt that candidate's disinterest. I would love to see you smile more. If everyone was watching her, you smiled in the second half of your speech much more than in the first half. And when you say, why should I hire you? Give us a look, give us a glance, something that anchors us to that question so that we have a minute to think about it. Because, Rosie, your smile lights up a room. It's really effective and really attractive. A couple of things you can do better. You said, fight exhausting to keep up the act. Hope I'm not taken away from John Graham. I would change that. It would be exhausting to keep up the act. Now, I know English is your probably fourth or fifth language. But when you say something like that, it distracts me a little bit. A couple of other things, and because we're on a screen, when you say up, down, left, right, on the screen, we are opposite. So I want you to go stage left, which is right, because on the screen, I'm looking left. And then when I go right, I actually go left. It's a technique. When I say from 1957 to 2024, that is backwards. So I have learned to say old to new. And when you start to do that, it really adds to the value of your physical presence on the screen. The only other suggestion I would have was thank you for loading your evaluation form into Free Toast Toast, which we know from Muriel will be offline soon. I want you to check out the evaluation form because, like I said, when I pulled it out, this speech is preparing for an interview. You were to design interview questions and be asked those questions. I love what you did, though. So don't take it as a criticism. Take it as a learning. Because what you really did well, when you whispered and then you smiled, very well done speech. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Vicky. And next, I will turn it over to our grammarian, John Graham, for his report.
Yes, grammarian. I'm very rubescent. I did the best I could, but I think I came up with some very interesting phrases. You kept anchoring us. Who said that? That was Vicky. Yes, Life is like a staircase. Who said that?
Harold.
Harold. Yes, good. Okay. Laughing in the garden of compassion. Who said that?
Michael.
Michael. That's right. Well, you're listening, Vicky. See, seeding, planting, harvesting. Who talked about that?
Trudy? No. Tamara.
Tamara. Yeah, Tamara. Right. And the salad, the color of the rainbow.
Tamara again.
So Tamara. Yes. Under your feet, the grass under your feet grows best. Shantae.
Okay.
Be in the moment.
Sheila?
Sheila, yeah, that's right. Okay. And I probably have a lot of other ones too, but maybe I better just stop here. I kept writing like crazy all the time. Okay, and I have other components too, but that's my grammarian report for now. Thank you.
Yeah, we still have another evaluator.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you, John. Yes, I did. My apologies. I did miss an evaluator. So I will turn it over to our next evaluator, Trudy.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. Well, I'll start with Harold G. His speech title was Plans Are Necessary for a Good Life. It's a very interesting title because he has directed it to every one of us in this diverse community here. We must think of plans are necessary for good life. It has really impacted on me when I heard that because he went through several organization of how he would plan that. In his purpose of speech, it says the purpose of the project is for the member to cultivate an understanding of how his or her emotion impact relationships, and is also designed to help the member identify how other emotions impact his or her emotional state. It's interesting how he looked at life. Plans for life are necessary for good life, and how he did that by emphasizing we must go deeper. And when we go deeper and start thinking of our life, we must decide, we must clearly plan and organize and have a plan of action in order to have a good life. He emphasized that in many different ways. Can't recall all the different ways, but he did emphasize it so we can follow that approach in our life. In terms of his presentation, he started off his presentation by giving us the lead as to which direction he was going to go into. His eyes was very focused on us. He had good hand movements. And when he really wanted to emphasize, he opened the hands to us, which was wonderful. And he had a beautiful voice, as he usually does, with his vocal variety. I must say the grass is green for me in many ways, listening to his speech, because it's my first time doing an open evaluation in MOE today. And for me, it is a bit of rudescence, if I use the word correctly in this context, with his speech. His speech, Harold's speech, was loaded with good examples and good direction we need to take, and if we don't take it, we won't find happiness we would not find happiness. Because he's doing this, hopefully, because he didn't talk about other parts of his life, but hopefully he will be happy, and he will be able to help his community, as he emphasized, help other people. When you're happy, you give of yourself. When you're not happy, you cannot give of yourself in the context of this speech. So our takeaway for this would be to follow our internal wishes and go ahead and do what we need to do to be happy. One thing he didn't talk about was funds. In order for you to do that, you need funds to be happy. Back to you.
Thank you, Trudy. I am rubescent for missing you, but thank you for evaluation. And then we actually have a third evaluator, which is Vicky's evaluation of Trudy's evaluation. So I will turn it over to our next evaluator, Vicky.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Trudy, well done. You really kept us focused on what Harold said and did. Good kudos for Harold. You know, it doesn't matter, as experienced as Harold is, everyone wants to hear what they did well. And you did a wonderful job going over the points that he made. And you talked about how they touched you. Last night when I presented at Professional Women Toastmasters, I talked about the 4 pillars of a good evaluation, and they are listen, think, care, and respond. You listened well. You gave some examples and you said, I didn't catch them all. Don't say that stuff. Just say the ones you remember. You thought about your response and you cared deeply to give him feedback that was really helpful. And then you responded to us with what you thought was going on. Now, rather than read what you're evaluating, give your thoughts on what you read. It took a while. You burned up some time. I don't know if that was on purpose or not.
No.
Okay. So next time, know what you want to say about something rather than read us the quote. That sentence is too long. Whoever wrote that in Toastmasters needs to be smacked, because that's a run-on sentence and it's hard to follow. So it was hard for me to follow that sentence, even though you read it really well. Now, here's what I'd like to see. What could Harold have done better? Now, my feedback to him, I don't know, Harold, if you can see the chat, but what I noticed was the structure of his speech. Harold started really strong about planning, and then he went to examples of planning. He talked about a plan of action versus a plan of failure. But then after he started to give his solution, he went back to selling the idea of planning a good life. So the feedback I gave Harold that I want you all to listen for is structure. How well does a speech flow? Does it take us to a natural conclusion, or does it take us up, suddenly come back? It's like a double close. And in conclusion, la, la, la. And I want to say finally, la, la, la. And furthermore, I want to talk about a whole new concept. I think that you could listen for structure. You'll hear it go well, and then you'll give even a more effective evaluation. No apologies. You used rubescent correctly. No apologies for this being your first evaluation on MOE. As my coach speaker at Harvard always would say, Jill Sly, practice, hone, but not alone. You are not alone, Trudy Young. Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you to our evaluators, Vicky and Trudy. And our grammarian, Jon, would like to share additional updates on the word of the day and the all counter.
Thank you, Jesper. Yes, I did the grammarian part, but not the other part. And rubescent was used about 4 times by Vicky. One she just added. A couple of times by Jon, a couple of times by myself. Jasper used it. Ed used it. Tamara used it. Mayoria used it. And I think that's about it. Anybody else? Raise your hand if I missed you. Okay, Trudy, I missed you. Yeah, you might do. Okay, very good. And let me show you a little spreadsheet here. This is a Brad Stauffer thing. And you know, if you know Brad Stauffer, you'll understand. This is the analysis of our ahs and ums and filler words during the course of the day. So Brad doesn't just do ahs and ums. He does ahs, ums, ers, you know, what, right, so, all of those different kinds of things. And I wanted to, Judith, you won our Let's See contest here. You had about 8 of those. Michael, you had 5 of ands in there. And I know I had at least 5 ahs when I'm talking. I do that. But you can just look at this, and I think this is overkill. I don't really want to do this because I can't pay attention enough to your speeches when I do this. So, but that's my report with ahs, ums, and word of the day. So thank you very much.
Thank you to our grammarian, John. Very insightful spreadsheet. And as general evaluator, as mentioned, I will be giving a evaluation of masters for this club. As Sandra said at the very beginning of our club meeting, Masters of Evaluation, we are definitely not a normal club, and you'll see why. When Tamara shared her Sergeant at Arms introduction, there was something that really stood out, and she said, Table Topics Marathon. And that really resonates with me, because think about it, especially with SNAP evaluations, we're giving our members a very good workout. Table Topics Marathon. Such a good use of words. Next up, engaging our guest, and great job to our Toastmasters of the day, John, for engaging our division director, Ed, and Michael as well, in keeping them engaged with the theme and asking them that icebreaker question to get them to share their thoughts on it as well. With word of the day, what I appreciated was John Graham's use of a challenging word, rubescent. What I like about Masters of Evaluation is that we're not settling for the easy words, and John has stepped up to give us a challenge of using more advanced words, rubescent. Listen to the speeches, Rosie. Always enjoy the unique life experiences that make your speech very relevant. And Harold, what I appreciate about your speech, it's your can-do mentality. And I was thinking about this. I wish you had an audiobook, because after listening to Les Brown, Harold should be the next one on my reading list. Great news that I heard from Division Director Ed. I believe you mentioned that for our division, 93% of our officers are trained. Is that correct? Which is above the 80%. Division Director Ed, our club is so proud to be part of that. As far as what can make our club even better, I would say it's with the word of the day, rubescent. As I was paying attention to how we were using it, it seemed like everyone was using it the same exact way. And with word of the days, let's challenge ourselves to use it in more unique ways. And in our last meeting, there was something that Harold G. said that really resonated with me. And he said, Masters of Evaluation, the way we performed at our meeting is par for the course. And for our club, that we're already setting a high standard. But settling for par, especially for our club, we're capable of much more. Something to think about that. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much. I've been told we have 7 minutes to wrap it up, so let me keep it short and sweet, something I've never done in my life. I will just say that these speeches were wonderful. Rosie reminded me of the power of body language, and Vicky mentioned that about her smile. Not only is it the content and the structure and the vocal variety, but just the energy, your inner grass. Is it green? I also liked Harold's message about the biggest responsibility is to make something of your life, and that you are to be a greater value in the power of planning. Also, kudos to Trudy, her first evaluation. She invoked the objectives of the speech project. Have we heard of such a thing? What you have to say about a speech is dictated in large part by what the objectives are. And I don't know that we spend enough time on that. And last and most importantly, I was remiss. Unmic yourself, and please let's give a warm return welcome to Kathy Choice.
Woohoo! Woo!
Kathy! What's green in your life? I'll give you 10 seconds. Go. All right, I'll give you 20 seconds. Go. What's up, Days? What's new in Kathy's life?
The same thing that was old.
Okay, take 2. Kathy, what's exciting in your life? Not the old grass, the new grass.
What is exciting in my life is that I am yes, I'm going to admit it. I will be 67 on election day in the United States.
Oh my gosh. No way.
Way. I don't believe it either. However,
Oh my
what is really green is that at almost 67, staring at the tip of the bullet, I am embracing AI and learning as much about it as I possibly can.
Beautiful. Thank you. The grass is green and not a wrinkle on that grass. Vicky, you had a quick message, I believe. Quick,
Well,
Vicky.
quick.
Quick.
I hear you. Quick, Vic. I am having a cocktail party in LA on the 19th of November when I am in town as a club coach. So y'all be getting invites. If you're in town, it'll make it easier for you to come. But I'll provide the food. You provide your own drink. That's it.
Great. And it's my pleasure to turn it over to Sandra, who will close in 5 minutes.
All
That's
right.
the goal.
Wonderful meeting. I want to quickly put in the chat for you that during the time that there is the computer being down for your projects, if you need to get at any of them, I've got a folder up on Google Drive with all 67 projects. That includes their evaluation resources, worksheets, the manual, some videos if there were any with that module. So you won't be remiss in having the computer down during that time. I normally ask at the end of the meeting of our guests, well, what did you think of our meeting today? But I want to do my new mantra. What did you learn today, Michael?
Thank you so much, Sandra. That I'm rusty, and you people scare me, and that's why I'd like to submit an application for membership. I like doing things. Snap evaluations. Dang, you mean I have to listen? All right, I'm going to try to up my game for you people, for myself, for y'all, everybody. Thank you very much. It was lovely, and I learned that I'm excited.
Thank you, Michael. And I'd like Ed to give us his feedback on what he learned today, because we should leave every meeting smarter. So did you get smarter today, Ed?
I did. I loved the way that I experienced during your meeting an evaluation of an evaluation, sort of a meta evaluation. That was a new experience for me. And I really enjoy the way that everyone is able to focus for the most part. Some people get distracted by, sometimes we get lost in the weeds and the details of the precision of our evaluation, and it detracts from the overall awareness that the evaluations are intended to provide focus for. So I'm going to roll this out to other clubs who I think might benefit, just in terms of the SNAP evaluations and the immediate feedback that the new generation is so hungry for. The immediate gratification of getting that feedback, I think, is a winning model. And so I'm going to try to push that out with other clubs where it seems like it might be beneficial. So thank you so much, Sandra. Back to you.
Thank you. And I learned something new today, but I didn't write it down in time. Vicky, could you repeat your 4 pillars for evaluations?
Yes. In fact, I can share a screen that I put them up on. Or not. So they are listen, think, feel, react. Or listen, feel, think, react.
Excellent. Well, as long as you're on mic, Vicky, would you like to set up our agenda for next meeting, which will be on the 18th?
Yes, I would. And this is super important, everyone, because, of course.
Can I say something?
Oh, sure.
Okay, I think we have planned for the next meeting to have the moments of truth.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I just wanted to ask everyone, did everyone receive the emails I sent out? Okay, so I'm going to send out the handouts to Muriel and Harold, and Michael, you also needs to have a handout. Do we have your, I don't have your email address.
I will send it.
Okay, excellent. I want you all to water our club next meeting with the moments of truth. This is not something perfunctory. I want to make sure that we get good answers so that we can steer the club in the direction you need us to go. So be prepared with that moments of truth and give us your honest feedback. And if you've got a creative idea, let's hear it. I mean, I love how we've changed to the SNAP evaluations, how we do the evaluations in general. And it's great. And I appreciate every time Vicki getting our agenda full. So with that, I want to close the meeting. If anybody has anything to say, let me know.
If you can hold on just a second.